Hello students, I am your educator Tanvi and here I am discussing connective tissue. See, from the word connective, it means it is going to be a connecting link between different tissues and organs. So the cells are loosely spaced and embedded in an intercellular matrix. So what this matrix is? See, every cell has a cytoplasm. So the cytoplasm of connective tissue is called as matrix. So it is a jelly-like or fluid-like substance which contains certain polysaccharides also. Plus it also contains fibers which gives it strength. Then coming to the types of connective tissue, there are mainly two types and further subtypes. Let us come to the first type, which is blood, and it is also called as fluid connective tissue. So what is the function of blood? It transports different gases, food, hormones as well as wastes in our body. Then coming to its structure, the matrix is generally called as plasma, the fluid substance, and it contains hormones, salts and a variety of proteins. The cells which it contains is red blood cells, white blood cells and platelets. So red blood cells, we know it contains red color pigment hemoglobin, and WBCs are the soldiers of our body, or they give the immunity. Platelets on the other hand, they help us in clotting of the blood. Coming to the next type of connective tissue, which is a connective tissue proper, or another subtype you can say dense connective tissue. So bone is a dense connective tissue. It forms the framework which supports our body, and also it anchors our different muscles of the body. It is strong and it is a very non-flexible tissue because it is giving the mechanical support to the whole system, and it is hard because of the presence of certain fibers made up of collagen and elastin. Moreover, the ground substance, or you can say the matrix, is made up of calcium and phosphorus compounds. Another category of dense connective tissue is ligament. It is a joint which connects two bones. It is elastic in nature as it has very little matrix and very little fibers in it. Tendons, again a dense connective tissue which connects bone to the muscle. It provides strength and it is less flexible than the filament because it contains more of fibrous tissue, more of fibers than the ligaments. So remember, ligaments connects two bones and is elastic, whereas tendon, it connects bones to muscle and it is fibrous in nature. Next, coming to the different structures, as we have discussed the dense connective tissue, let us see the structure of a bone. So here a cross section of bone, if we see, it is generally a circular and hollow structure. Okay, so this hollow structure is referred to as Haversian canal. It is very much rich in blood vessels. Then you can see over here osteocytes. So these osteocytes are present all over. I have just shown in one circle. In all the concentric circles, this osteocyte is present. Osteo means bone, cyte means cell. So bone cell. So cell which is present in the bone is called as osteocyte. Then you can clearly see some projections which are protruding out in the lumen. This lumen or the cytoplasm, you can say the lumen, which is called as the canaliculus because it is inside the canal, canaliculus. And then there is a nucleus, plus this hollow region contains bone marrow. Coming to different types of WBCs, the white blood cells which we talked about in the fluid connective tissue blood, there are two types, granulocytes and agranulocytes. In granulocytes, we have further three types, neutrophil, eosinophil and basophil. So neutrophil are also called as polynuclear leukocyte because it contains multiple nuclei. You can see over here, more than one nucleus, more than two also, 3-4 nuclei they contain. So that is why they are called as polynuclear leukocyte. Why leukocyte? Leuko means colorless, cyte means cell. These are white blood cells, okay, colorless or white blood cells. Then coming to eosinophil, they have two nuclei, and basophil has a single nucleus. So what functions they perform? Neutrophil are the first cells that come in the inflammation when anything is inflamed in our body. So these are the immune cells which will help us to overcome this situation. During allergic reactions, eosinophil and basophil, they perform the role to prevent those you can say harmful effects in our body. Then coming to the agranulocyte, that is lymphocyte, which is producing certain proteins called as antibodies, which will you can say kill the foreign material like virus, bacteria if it enters the body. Monocyte, it actually also kills the bacteria and virus by engulfing that particular substance inside. So engulfing inside is called as phagocytosis. So when a monocyte, it performs phagocytosis, it is called as macrophage. So macrophage, you can say, is a mature monocyte that performs phagocytosis. Then these fragments of cell or cytoplasm are platelets, which will help in the clotting of blood in case of any injury when blood loss is there. So it will prevent the blood loss by clotting the blood. Next, coming to cartilage, it is also a dense connective tissue. It has widely spaced cells, and it is generally, you can say, very much flexible, which smoothens the bone surface because it is generally present at the end of bones. So where exactly it is present? Nose, ear, trachea and larynx. So here one diagram of hyaline cartilage is shown. Hyaline means that it is colorless, only cells are present in it, and those cells are called as chondrocyte. Chondro means cartilage, cyte means cell. So cell of cartilage, present in cartilage. And hyaline, this transparent matrix which it has, means very less of fibers or absent. Fibers are absent over here. Next type is areolar connective tissue, which is another type of tissue. You can say it is loose connective tissue, where it is present between skin and muscles and in bone marrow. So maximum amount of connective tissue is areolar connective tissue. It helps in the repair of tissues, and it also supports internal organs because wherever the organs will be present, a layer of this areolar connective tissue is present. So this is the structure of areolar tissue. So you can see a variety of cells are there. Macrophage, they perform phagocytosis. There are certain fibers. It can be made up of protein, collagen, or it can be branched, called as reticular fiber. Fibroblasts, they are the cells which are forming the fibers. They will produce the fibers. And you have the plasma cell, which contains the RBCs and WBCs. Then next, coming to another type of the loose connective tissue, that is adipose tissue. Now adipose tissue, it is located below skin and between the internal organs, and mainly it is filled with fat. So wherever fatty deposits are there in the body, that is the adipose tissue. It helps in maintaining the body temperature. So we say it acts as an insulator. So here you can see the structure. See, mainly this hollow portion which is there now, this is actually made up of fat. So the nucleus is at the side. Okay. So this is the adipocyte. Next, coming to muscular tissue, wherever muscles are present, responsible for movement in our body, their muscular tissue is there. Now what they contain? They are made up of contractile proteins which help in relaxation and contraction so that proper movement happens. And on the basis of movement, muscles can be of two types: involuntary muscles and voluntary muscles. Voluntary muscles means that they can move by our conscious will. And involuntary means which is not by our conscious will. It is obviously controlled by the brain, but it is not under our wish. Okay, like the heart muscles, we cannot guide them how to contract and relax. But while moving or walking or you can say running, that is under our hands, right? That is a voluntary action which is not under our wish. That is involuntary action. So similarly, these are involuntary muscles which are not controlled by our conscious will, and voluntary muscles controlled by our conscious will. So there are three major types of muscle tissues: skeletal muscles, smooth muscles and cardiac muscles. Let us see skeletal muscles. These are voluntary. They have certain stripes, means light and dark regions are there. How? This is the arrangement of proteins, okay, which is giving this structure. You can see they are cylindrical and they are having more than one nucleus in a cell. Alright, so we call them striated muscles because of having the light and dark regions. They are cylindrical, they are not branched and having more than one nucleus, multinucleate. Where it is located, limbs and attached to bones, means it will help in the body movement. That is why it is voluntary muscle. Next, smooth muscles. These are involuntary, not under our control. Let us look at the shape. These are spindle shaped. Spindle means pointed at the ends. And they are not containing any light and dark regions. These are the fibers. So these are not containing any stripes or striations, so called as unstriated muscles. Where it is present, alimentary canal, the food pipe, blood vessels, iris of the eye, in the ureters and in the lungs. Again, help in contraction and relaxation of the muscles. The last type is cardiac muscle, which is again involuntary, present in the heart. These are highly branched, you can see, and high stripes, you can see these stripe regions. So these are the striations. So we can say cardiac muscles are striated muscles and they are involuntary, plus they do not get tired easily. Why? Because they are highly branched. So location is heart and they help in contraction and relaxation of heart muscles.